world champions in the race?
No, actually,
the folks they have already started to stand up in the grandstand.
Well, Ashanti Moore has not yet.
Champs winning the 100, converted from multi-events, high speed.
Shericka Wallace represents MVP in lane 2.
One of 3 ladies from MVP in this final. She ran in lane 8 in the heats, lane 8 in the semis, and is now in lane 2 in the finals. 11:39 to get here.
Elaine Thompson-Hira in 3.
Double Olympic champion, double Commonwealth champion, 10.54 in 2001. A fabulous sprinter. Is she in top shape? Warm welcome for her. Fitting.
Natasha Morrison in 4.
Has a spectacular personal best of 10.87 set in 2021. Ran 11 seconds flat in her heats. Ran 11.14 to win her semis over Elaine Thompson-Hira, Natasha Morrison.
The second MVP athlete. Here's the third one in lane 5, Shericka Jackson.
World champion at 200 meters. Bronze in the 100 in 2021. Silver last year in Eugene. Shericka Jackson at 10.78, the fastest Jamaican on the year.
Lee Forbes.
Sasha Lee Forbes now has a nice, pretty sub-11 time. She ran 10.98 on the 21st of May this year. She represents Sprint Tech. She's the 3rd fastest Jamaican this year.
And representing Nike, Alana Reid in lane 7.
New pro, champs record holder, now at 10.92. Ran 11.17 in Japan last week. Alana Reid, formerly of Heidel, now professional.
Representing Titans Track Club, this is Brianna Williams. She runs on the outside in lane 8.
Brianna Williams used to train with Atta Boland. She's now come home to Jamaica, trains with Michael Freighter and Greg Little. 10.94 her PB. She has run 11.04 twice this year, close to her best again. Viewers, you need to know this time. 10.71 is the fastest time run in the world so far this year.
Ashanti Moore, Adidas lane 1. Shericka Wallace, MVP lane 2. Elaine Thompson-Hira, New Era lane 3. Natasha Morrison, MVP lane 4. Shericka Jackson, MVP lane 5. Sasha Lee Forbes, Sprint Tech Track Club lane 6. Alana Reid, Nike lane 7. And Brianna Williams, Titans Track Club in lane 8. That is Mrs. Thompson-Hira on your screen.
The entire National Stadium is standing.
Tension has gripped the National Stadium. Women's 100-meter final. What are we about to see? We'll know in a matter of just over 10 seconds after the race gets underway. A sterling lineup. And the slight push in the set position. Off they go. Very, very good start by Shericka Jackson. Natasha Morrison is on the premises. Thompson-Hira is knocking on the door as well. Step forward, Shericka Jackson imperiously. And she steps away in great style to become back-to-back national champion. Big performance on the big occasion. We wait for the official time.
10.65!
10.65! Wow, what a performance! New world leading, new personal best, a stunning, superlative, and scorching display of sprinting. That was magical. Goodness gracious me. Sasha Lee Forbes, second in 10.96, new personal best. Natasha Morrison finishes 3rd. What a race. What a moment. What performances.
It's wind legal, viewers. You want to know? Positive 1.0 seconds. Shericka Jackson skyrockets up in the world all-time list. Has now gone into the 10.6 region. Amazing as she hugs her mother there after the race. Shericka Jackson. Plenty drama behind that, Hubert Lawrence. Sasha Lee Forbes says, I'm going to run the 100 meters at the World Championships.
Jackson, walking out with attitude, smile on her face, the one to beat, undoubtedly. Just some quick news while Shericka jogs around there.
The final 100 meters. So could tonight be the night that the Team USA is restored as champion? We'll see.
I just feel like Gabby Thomas has not been challenged so far in a big race. She blew away U.S. Nationals, but this one on your screen is the favorite for a reason. 21-4, disappointed in the 100. She has everything to run for here. And only Gabby Thomas has run faster this year at 200 meters.
And make no mistake about it.
And she's in 6. Yeah, she can see everybody in front of her.
29-year-old Jamaican wants a little bit of revenge on that woman right there, Sha'Carri Richardson, because Shericka Jackson thought for a second she had won the World 100-meter title. It didn't happen. She was shocked by Richardson. Here's Gabby Thomas. As Sonia told us, she's got fresh legs. No 100 for her.
Here's the NCAA champion, Alfred. Does she have one more big race in her?
Daryl Neater of Great Britain.
After making the Olympic 100 final, now she's made a world final.
This is Dina Asher-Smith, her teammate who reigned supreme in 2019, but has had injury issues since. She was only 8th in the 100, so what can she do here? And also rounding out the field there, that's Mary-José Talou. I mean, a picture of consistency, guys. She's been one of the best female sprinters in the world for over a decade. Unfortunately, was in that 4th spot again in the 100 meters, and a tough lane draw for her there in lane 2.
One thing is for sure, I feel like the medals are going to come from the outside lanes.
We keep saying it, we haven't had a bad final yet in the field event or on the track, and this is guaranteed to be another buzzworthy performance.
The two American women are side by side in lanes 8 and 9. Gabby Thomas in 8, and right here, Sha'Carri Richardson, the 100-meter world champion in 9.
Women's 200 final away. Shericka Jackson, Sha'Carri Richardson on the outside has already been passed. Here comes the world champion Jackson. Shericka Jackson into the home straight. She has put her stamp on this event. She's going to go back to back for Jamaica. The first since Melanie Nunny, and she crosses in 21.
She is getting closer to Flojo's world record. She is now just 0.07 of a second away as Gabby Thomas gets the silver and Sha'Carri hands off for her 2nd medal at these Worlds.
That wasn't even close, Otto, and I could tell the way that she ran the 100, she was in the middle of the track, all of her chief competition in front of her, she executed to perfection. We just witnessed the 2nd fastest time ever run, and it was at a World Championship final. Oh my goodness, just phenomenal running for these women.
Look at Gabby Thomas, her mouth is wide open, she can't believe it. It's Jamaica, the United States, and 4/10 of a second in sprinting is a mile.
That is as big
of a margin
of victory as you will see in a sprint event in history at these World Championships. We'll crunch the numbers, but wow, for a race that we thought, well, maybe somebody gets close, no contest, Jackson by a mile.
And that's the last time you convinced me to change my favorite. Shericka Jackson looked amazing, but Otto, you also called it. Sha'Carri Richardson would need to run a personal best, and she did, and she got a bronze medal. So she's leaving here with a gold and a bronze. This is a phenomenal first World Championship for the young superstar.
So here's another look. Shericka Jackson, 4th from the left, was playing no games tonight. I think she would have been frustrated by her inability to win the 100. And man, she came off of that turn and it was goodbye rest of the world. Gabby Thomas tried to charge late, but that's a lot of space in between the Jamaican world champion from last year and the rest of the world. So she repeats and defends her title from Eugene. And the other women who run the 200 in the world, know now, if you are not ready to run 21.4, you have no chance to beat an in-shape Shericka Jackson.
And think about this, Otto. Shericka Jackson started out her career as a 400-meter runner. No one saw this coming. No one saw that she would step down, much like Fred Curley did, and run the 1-2 and be so dominant. And I really think that is what has paid off for her in this 200-meter discipline. She is by far the strongest in the field. She has the experience of the 400 meters, and she uses it to her advantage. I definitely feel like she was disappointed from that 100 because she came out here on a mission.
This is the largest margin of victory that we have seen in this event since Allison Felix in 2007 Worlds at Osaka won by .53. This does not happen often. Ingram Miller also had a big win by 0.45 in Seville, but wow.
The complexion of this.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Now, 10.65 seconds. That's all it took for Shericka Jackson to remind the world why she's one of the most feared sprinters alive. But what makes this race even crazier is how easy she made this race look. I mean, while others are struggling to win the race, when others are still struggling to catch up, when others are facing difficulties in such races, Jamaican-born Shericka Jackson is making this race her playground. Ladies and gentlemen, it's safe to say that Jamaicans, they are built and designed different. Jamaicans don't give up, Jamaicans don't panic, and Jamaicans, most of all, they turn the impossible to be possible. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the women's 20 plus 100 meters. Now, once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Tyrell Reactions. Remember, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment. To my returning subscribers, my returning viewers, I have to say thank you so much for the love and support. Now, let's take a quick dive into this video. Ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, this wasn't the Olympics, not the World Athletic Championship, just a local meet hosted by the MVP Track Club. Ladies and gentlemen, but don't let that fool you, because what happened here feels like a global final. The athletes, they came prepared, heads up, focused, calm, relaxed, ready to show what they are made of. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the fastest 100 meters in the women's category. Ladies and gentlemen, as the athletes settle into their blocks, you will understand that all eyes were locked on one person, to be precise, Jamaican-made Shericka Jackson. You could feel it, the tension, the expectations, because when she's on the track, something special is always about to happen. And like I always say, big name, big countries, big nations makes people have high expectations, because we expect you to give us the best shows. Ladies and gentlemen, and then immediately the gun went off. Boom. She's out of the blocks. Clean and not explosive, but controlled. Ladies and gentlemen, Shericka Jackson knew exactly what she was doing. This race was so much calculated to her. And within the first 30 meters, you could already see it. She's separating, ladies and gentlemen. This is where races are won, and she makes it look so much unfair to the rest of the track field. Her strides opens up, smooth, powerful, and effortless. Reminds me of Brian Level. Now, imagine somebody running the same race with you, but effortlessly, while the rest of the field is fighting. Ladies and gentlemen, Shericka Jackson was floating in this race, or safe to say, she was flying. By 60 meters, it was over. No panic, no strain, just pure dominance from the Jamaican speed queen. Ladies and gentlemen, this wasn't just speed. This was control at world-class level. This shows us that Shericka Jackson is well-trained. This is a professional athlete. Somebody who cannot fold no matter the circumstance. Ladies and gentlemen, she crosses the line, clocking a time of 10.65. And the craziest part is that she doesn't even look tired. Ladies and gentlemen, what I really love to say is this. Despite Shericka Jackson taking this win, the rest of the field, they did well. They showed their capabilities, and I'm sure they performed better than their previous race. So what I'm trying to bring to your attention is that in general, this wasn't just a one-woman show. But when it comes to winning, Jamaica, they made it a one-woman show. They destroyed the field. Now, I'm just happy to see the comfort that Shericka Jackson got at the end of this race. Deep hugs. I mean, she needed it. Her staff, her coach. I mean, it shows that, hey, you did great. The race was perfect. Your performance was brilliant. I mean, she made a lot of people proud. So how can you hate on Shericka Jackson? How can you hate on Jamaicans? Ladies and gentlemen, this wasn't just a race. This was a statement. This was a message. And this was a warning to the world of track and field. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, running a time like that, at a meet like that, this one is a message that the world shouldn't ignore. Shericka Jackson delivered when it matters most, or rather when it mattered most. She came through when it mattered most. Ladies and gentlemen, and if this was just a preview, then the rest of the world should be very worried. Because Jamaicans, with this race, it just proved to us that Jamaica will never fold. Jamaica will never fall. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I've been your host, Tyrell Reactions. Remember, if you're coming across my channel for the first time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also comment. To my returning subscribers, my returning viewers, I got to say thank you so much for the love and support. So ladies and gentlemen, until we meet again in my next video, peace out and one love.